countries don't communicate with each other. People communicate with each other. The past several years have been pretty challenging for everybody, and one of our ongoing challenges revolves around Canada-China relations. There are misconceptions by citizens in both of our countries whose impressions are framed by political narratives and not by a real understanding of what it is like on the ground to live and work in each other's countries. And yet, so many Canadians have been over here in China for many years, building businesses, families, new technologies, schools, skyscrapers, and dreams. Here are just a few of many stories of real Canadians living, working, and thriving in China.
I'm Karen Savorniak. I'm a principal with B+H Architects and the president of our Asia operations. B+H is an architectural and interior design firm that was started in Toronto, Canada, over 65 years ago.
I'm Bryce Jenner, originally from Toronto, Whistler, Vancouver. I started a small bar called Big Bamboo, and then that turned into another Big Bamboo and another Big Bamboo, all in Shanghai. We started Pistolero, and then a couple of years ago I started brewing beer.
Hi, I'm Christy Newton, and I am from a small town just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I currently work at the Canadian International School, Kunshan, just outside of Shanghai in China. And I've been here for 6 years.
My name is Ron Ball, born and raised in Oshawa, Ontario. And in 1977, I embarked on the beginnings of manufacture of handrails for escalators.
I'm Mark Seelan. I'm the president of Redgate International. My career path had pretty well been set, but I was given an opportunity to take a leave of absence for 1 year in 2003 to come to China, and I'm now in my 17th year.
I was surprised when I first came over how Western it was, and people dressed like Western, and it was not like I perceived back in Canada from my education in the news, but it was still a very different place where people needed a spot to go and unwind after the day of work and sort of have familiar settings around them. So here I was, Canadian in Shanghai, didn't speak a word of Mandarin, didn't know the people you need to make things happen. So a very important ingredient to starting it off was having the support of my Chinese wife, Lucy, and her family that helped me navigate through the different turbulent waters of setting up business back then it was a Wild West Shanghai. What we have today is a real meshing of the two East and West cultures, which has created what I have now.
People often ask me, how did you end up being in China? Early on, we knew that exporting would be a requirement for our business. China was obviously the place we could see that it was going to grow and become a leading market for us. China now represents 2/3 of our global supply.
Our architects in China actually contribute to designs around the world. So from a company perspective, we've really used our platform here to develop the way we design and work around the world. Really, it's this collaboration of designers working together, different cultures working together, that really create and advance design. B+H has many projects that we're very proud of that have been designed in China. Some of them have become landmarks. For example, the one behind me, that we can see out the window here, is the K11, or as it was known when we designed it, the New World Tower in Shanghai. The fact that we have been able to be part of the development of China's urban fabric over the past 20 years has greatly enhanced B+H as a firm and as a design house.
Is a good relationship between Canada and China important? Absolutely, yes. With all our country has to offer, both in terms of resources and culture and our point of view, if nothing else. And China, with the 1.4 billion people that live here and their need for our product and also for our point of view. How can we not commit to attempting to communicate with each other? It's very important for us and for them.
China's brought me plenty of great opportunities, and I'm not the only one, I'm far from. There is a plethora of Canadian entrepreneurs in Shanghai and China that are incredibly successful. Canadians, I think, in Shanghai lead the way in F&B. Just at the awards last night, there was numerous Canadians that picked up different awards for achievements.
My students always say, oh, Canadians are really nice. They're the nicest people in the world. And that is something that people believe. So keeping up that relationship, that image, and having it flip so that Canadians understand that Chinese people are also some of the nicest people in the world. China was one of the best decisions I could have made. There is so much opportunity here. And if someone is willing to make that jump and step into a whole new world, they will find the opportunity that they're looking for here. I think that the values, the ideas, the principles, the way that people look at the world and interact is extremely similar between my Canadian community, friends and family, and the community and friends and family that I've built here. And I think that that would be the most surprising thing for people to hear at home. It's really not that different. There are differences, but when you get down to the core of it, to the foundation, we're very similar people.
And also to believe that relationships don't exist, that they do exist. First of all, China is our second largest trading partner. And as a Canadian, it's so obvious to me because I live it every day. So I see the Canadian businesses here in China that are doing extremely well, that have done extremely well, that have worked in the Chinese market to develop even new products, new designs, new capabilities, and have prospered by their interaction with China and continue to prosper.
I'm looking upon the 23 years that I've been here as some of the best years in my whole life. Most people in the Western world, not just Canada, but America, they don't have a very good idea on what China is like. I think of Shanghai as being the best city in the world. It's certainly the most exciting city in the world. Where else can you go where it is so clean, so safe, so modern, so operationally efficient? I would encourage people to come and visit China and not just read the newspaper, which of course we know is rather sensationalist.
China is not what is projected in the media. It is not what we see over there. It is not what is being presented. And it's unfortunate because China is a wonderful place to live and work and experience. Another thing I would definitely encourage my family and friends back home to do is to learn about it. Do a little bit of reading. Find out what makes China China and approach that information with an open mind and with compassion because it is a really amazing story.
I've had the pleasure of working in China for over 17 years, and I believe that the relationship between our two countries is very critical and essential. Cooperation between countries such as Canada and China are really essential to being able to capture the best of these technologies. We've been able to contribute to projects here that we would never have had the opportunity to in other countries, due to the great development that's happened here over the past while. And China is certainly a society that is changing its relationship with the rest of the world. I believe that our two countries can really work together and help each other for the challenges that are facing us in the future. From a designer's point of view is we are all connected and we must work together and we should work together, and there's nothing we can't solve or resolve through communication. Although we have no interest in being involved in politics, we do recognize that we're working in a politicized world. And this hasn't stopped us from continuing our good work here and collaborating with our clients. The view and the stories you read in newspapers are only a very small part of the picture, a very small part of the richness of the culture and the developments that you can see just by spending a week in Shanghai.
I'm not a politician, but I am quite aware of the discussion and the tension between China and Canada regarding a high-profile detainee in Vancouver and a couple of unfortunate Michaels in China. And it's a tragic event, as far as I'm concerned. My read on it is the sooner that we can figure out a solution to it, both of the countries that I love, Canada and China, are going to be much better off.
It's not a good situation, and the benefits of it disappearing far outweigh the negative consequences on so many levels. I can't see how it helps any Canadian in any way, and certainly doesn't help the two Michaels.
I understand that our two countries have some tensions right now over the holding of our respective citizens. And from each country's side, the situation seems pretty simple and clear-cut about how to resolve it. I would hope that both countries can come together with understanding and mutual respect, and ultimately respect for each other's citizens and taking care of each other. I believe that the resolution of this issue can bring our countries closer together.
I think that a positive or a good relationship between Canada and China is essential, and I think it's one of the most important things that we can work towards. And that's because when you have a good relationship between two countries, you have better understanding, and that allows people to have more experiences, to have more meaningful interactions with people that are different from themselves, and that just makes the world a better place.
We celebrate Canada on a regular basis, and of course on Canada Day.
I think the country has treated me well. I think I've treated the country well, made contributions technologically and as an employer of gainful, meaningful employment for some 300 people. And so it's been a great partnership. I'm a proud Canadian, happy as heck that I came here 23 years ago. My business has grown 10 times what it was when I started here. So it's been great for me socially, been great for me economically. We do benefit the world when we are prosperous in China.
We share a unity that's still, for the common people, it's still there.
Right now, being part of what's happening in China is a great joy, and is something that Canadians should be part of and take very seriously.
In all these years that Canadians have been in China, it hasn't always been bad times. There have been a lot of good times, and we built a lot of very important, warm relationships. Our companies have prospered. We built families. And now's not the time to walk away. Now's the time to engage in an even deeper way, by showing that we care and by showing our goodwill.